Hi everybody. In this lesson I continue with post and put requests, and I use it together. We start with updating a food, and I want to update a food using this put API and a put request. When client send a put request, and it process and then update an existing food. But now I open a UML design, and we have a new category document, and this document is a table to have a relation between the food and the category. We have a release the relation one to many. One category contain many foods, so I will use this relation to give you a demo. Then I create a new model. The category model is a new file, and the OK. Then in this file I define a schema or a model schema for this. Basically we have a schema, we have mongoose, then we have the category schema. Inside this we have some of the property. For example, the name is required, the name is string and it is required. So the second is we have a description is also a string, and it has a default value is a blank string. We also have the created date is the date value that return to the date that I insert this value or update this value. Then the default is the date of now, okay, when I created this. This is a setter for the name, or it is called before set the name, then it uppercase the first letter of the name. And so we export this model, the category model, to this schema, so I can use it both category and food. So we also have a model or a file that contain some of the API relating to category document. Remember that document mean table in SQL. So in this we have the category, but the router in this case we want to use the router both food and categories, so I use it as global. I add it to a global. It means that it can be used in all of my application, and it is initialized one time. This I point to this global router, and then this router is called between food and category. So inside this I remove this line, I delete this line because it is not necessary, because it is initialized in the global. So I point to router to this global in this. Then I do similarly with category. I paste to here similarly to category. The router is a global router, and the global router is initialized in the index.js one time. And remember that you require two of the category and the food, so all of the function defined in food or in a category file is embedded into the router. Yes. In this category file I also import the model, the category model. Then I define a post API. It means a post request that send a request to insert new category to an existing. Do similarly with the food. In the previous lesson we have this. Firstly I can find the existing category with the name. If it is exist, you do not allow to insert. By checking it is exist, I can check the value of result. If it has object inside the category output, then we do not insert, and then vice versa, you can insert more by using this line of code. So this line will insert more value into the category, and here when it is successfully through the added category, then you can see the output that's categories than you updated before. So okay, you can also add a line to here to ensure that this model use router, export router, then connecting to the database, and I point to tutorial MongoDB and show all the collection inside. So you have a first inside, then I clone the API here. So API to insert new category, press send, you press send, so you have a category, and here okay, we have the new category, the seafood, the name is seafood, and the description here. So let's check in the database by using terminal use. So okay, now we have more, we have category, then I will query this category inside by using db category file. Okay, so we have a new category that has just been inserted before. Okay, so now you add more line to here to show that if it cannot be inserted because it has existing before, so it is some of the code for arrow. Just remember this code line. So I will check by insert a new category with the same name. Okay, cannot insert because the same name has been exists. The same name exists, so you cannot insert a category with existing name. Now what about updating your food? I define a put request, and inside this I will check the existing good condition, and you set a new value, and we have some of the option, and the output is updating food after the new has been updated. So condition, what is this? Condition is how to check the existing record. So in this I will check the import. The input is a food ID. The food ID is input, so it will query, it could search for the food ID, and we have the food ID with the existing and updating to the existing food with food ID. Then you must enter food ID to update, because you only update one record with the food ID, and it is a condition. So I'd update the condition. Remember to use this okay mongoose to the mongoose model, and move to next. Then you have a new value. The value is initialized with a blank object, and I check the name is the value that will be updated, and if it is not nil or the length then less than two the characters, and it will update. You will have the new value property name I assign to the name of new value, so it will update by using set new value. So, and what about the option? The option is I set new is true. It means that the updated food is the food, the new food that has been updated, and not the original food, not the previous food. It is the latest update of the food. So we show through the output that it updates successfully if the error is null. Okay, if the error is not null, please through the screen that it is not updated. Okay, then it is updating functions to update the existing. Remember just to add some code here. So db for food, you can show on the existing. So let's choosing one of the record to update. Okay, I want to choose one record to update, one record in this document to update. For example, I use it, yes, oyster, and I copy this ID, and give it as an input parameter to the update function. Then I query only this object ID. Remember, it is object ID, not string. Then I paste it here and print pretty. Yes, so I will update this record of the document. Then I will update the name oyster. I change the name to another string, for example Japanese oyster, etc. Okay, and I copy this ID. Then I open the API and paste the ID to here, and the name is I change it a little bit to for example Japanese oyster, for example, or anything string that have the length less than 2 character. Okay, so we have the output, that is Japanese oyster, and the restriction here, and then you requery it again. So you see that the O and the new here, the new value is Japanese oyster has been updated. So the name has been updated in this case. What about the category ID? The category ID is an object ID point to the ID of the category. So you need to add more to this option multi-true. Okay, so for updating multiple, and you check about the category ID is the input. Depending it input and it is a truly object ID, you can set the new value to it. Remember to add the field to here into the model. You must add it to here. Yes, remember this line. So you can show the category about. So I will copy this line, adjusting this about a little bit, and we only updating this. I paste the category ID here, and then I send. Okay, now the category ID has been updated, and the name of the food also updated. So we update two fields. The first field is the name, and the second field is the object ID. So you see that object ID of the and the object ID category is the same. Okay, and this is very basic lesson about how to update some of a collection with relation as before. So this lesson is end today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.